Hey everyone, your designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home.
We have tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
Today is episode 229, Summer Mantle Decorating. And the show notes for today's episode can be found at decoratingtipsandtricks.com/229. So we're right in the middle of summer. It's time for this.
Oh, yeah.
Dog days here. Very hot, very sticky, very humid.
I'm looking for any activity that requires me to be inside right now because it's
Yes.
super hot and humid here in Houston. So so I want to focus on my mantle because that's indoors.
And usually my mantle is my front door and then my mantle. They're the first things I decorate at the change of a season. For some reason, that gives me the motivation and the creativity and the inspiration to go and spread a little bit of that season throughout the rest of my house.
Well, and you're so lucky because so many people have a TV above their mantle and, there's not much you can do with that. I'm one of those people, I have doors in front of the TV, which is good news. We don't have to see the TV when it's not on, but I still have the issue of not being able to add a lot. So some of our listeners are going to have that issue, but we're going to come up with some thoughts on that as well. And so we're going to try to work around it as best we can.
Well, Anita, first of all, I think the door idea is really fabulous. And now you can actually get standalone doors that you can put in front of your TV.
If your TV's small enough. That's right.
Mm-hmm. And I just think that's such a good idea. But, you don't always have to just decorate above the mantle. What about like in front of the mantle, in the hearth, on either side? That's all part of the mantle that you should think about decorating.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I'll tell you, when I was looking on Pinterest, since it's so limited on what I can do, I was really looking on Pinterest to get some fabulous ideas for today. And my favorite idea just made me so sad that my TV is there. It was so beautiful and simple and elegant. And I'm going to share what it is. It's a summery painting that's oversized. It's as big as the opening on the fireplace. So it's almost the width of the entire fireplace. So probably about 3 feet wide and maybe 3 feet tall, but it's a beautiful painting with blues and greens. Looks very summery. And they had sconces on either side. One looks like little small olive tree or something like that, some sort of plant. And so simple, so fresh, so beautiful. I just was so drawn to it.
That sounds lovely.
So it doesn't have to be complicated, I guess is my point. And my thought with mantle decorating is bigger is better, less is more, like we say all the time. And that's my approach on the mantle. There's other approaches, but I really like that simplicity.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
And I think especially in the summer, it can be a lot less complicated at Christmas time. We like to put it on a little heavier.
Right,
so you might have a garland draped over it, and you might be tucking in ornaments, and you might be doing lots of candles and some height. And in the summer, the way my mantle is, it's all part of it. There's a mirror that's part of it. And then there are these small columns. So it's, the Victorian look. So it's all one piece. So I don't have anything above it on the wall itself. It's all of the mantle. So I can get away with just putting something really simple because there's all of that going on. And I would think somebody who also has something hanging above, whether it is a television or if it's a piece of art, you can also get away with something super simple. And if you're going to do something really simple, I would suggest doing in repetition because then it has more impact rather than just putting one little starfish, put an odd number, put 5, put 7, put 9, something like that all across. And maybe in between you could put something else, a summary, like even like a lemon. You could seriously decorate your mantle from, things that you found on the beach or in your grocery food aisle as well. So it can be really, really simple, or little vases, tiny little bottles with little sprigs of flowers or herbs in there, and just do several of them. So collectively it has some impact.
Well, I agree with you, and especially if you do have a TV above your fireplace. Obviously, you can't put anything tall. So I think that in that particular instance, you go with several shorter things underneath the TV. Hopefully, it's mounted on the wall. So you could do, I've done ironstone pitchers under there. You could do, like Kelly was saying, some glass jars, maybe some flowers, faux or real, because you're, 3 feet away or so, which is what is our rule. You have to be able to not tell 3 feet away if it's real
that's
or
right.
faux.
That's right.
But also, some bowls of lemons or other fruit you can put up there, some stacks of books, some starfish, some large shells. I think there's so many little things you could do under that TV to really pull your eye in. And I love the repetition idea, Kelly.
Well, let me just talk a minute about what areas you're going to decorate. Of course, you're going to decorate that horizontal long piece that we think of when we think of the mantle, but really there's real estate behind it. And I suggest, we'll have it in the show notes, that you go to the how to decorate a mantle, and we talk all about that, about make sure that you put something of stature, heft behind that, on that wall. And so you can layer something in front of it. You also have in front of the mantle, I love the idea of putting, really interesting garlands. Like, I think right now, those little like woolly pom-pommy things would look so pretty done, and then interspersed maybe with shells, or with even like little flags for the summer, something that's just really adorable. Because I think in the summer you can get away with being extra cute. Now, my house, it doesn't have that cuteness factor, but I think in the summertime, just a little bit of that is fun. Right now on my mantle, I always keep like a little black stool. It's just this tiny little thing, and I found it, and it's rectangle, and it just fits because I have a very narrow, long mantle, but a very narrow mantle. And I have white lanterns, and I have one lantern on a stool on one side, and on the other side, I have a couple of burlap books with another one, and I have a potted red geranium on there just to give it a little pop of color and to look nice.
Oh, how pretty. My mantle is really narrow. The horizontal surface is super narrow. So I can't get away with too many things. And as I said, it's all one piece. So there's a mirror behind it. So it does have the sense that it's more there because of the mirror, because there's a reflection. So if you have a very narrow horizontal surface as your mantle, like mine is just a shelf, really, a very narrow shelf. Maybe if you prop a thin mirror with not too exaggerated up a frame, so it doesn't take up too much space. So a thin mirror with a thin frame, you could maybe put that behind what you're putting there, maybe on either side, and then you'll also benefit from the reflection, like I am.
You'll amplify what you have, the look of what you have. I also like to put something on my hearth, because we're not using the fireplace, so I can actually put something in front of the fireplace. So to the one side, I just got two big jugs, like big jar jugs from Wayfair. One's bigger, one's smaller, and that looks just really nice sitting there.
Well, now that's a good point, because you can put things in your fireplace, like stacks of logs or something like that, or, a big fern when the fireplace is not in use. I actually have a fireplace screen that I keep that's an antique carved, beautiful French, and I added a grain sack fabric to it, of course, because I add that to
and
everything.
That is beautiful, by the way.
Oh, thanks. And had it monogrammed. So that's in front of my fireplace, and then I have an antique kind of olive jar next to it in green, with some dried greenery in there. So, that's something you could do. We have the gas fireplace, so I can't put anything in there, in the hearth, but this goes in front. And I think that really kind of gives it a spring look. And then I move that fireplace screen in the winter when we're actually using the fireplace. But yeah, don't forget that area, because that's
it's
a nice
big black
place to
hole.
give it. Yeah, it's a nice place to give it some summer freshness. And so I love the idea of some sort of plants if you can. And then in the winter, you can, when your fireplace isn't on, you can put some big baskets full of full of, quilts and things. But boy, you don't want to see those today because it's too hot.
Yeah.
We're all lamenting before we went live how just horribly hot it's been. And we live in 3 sections of the country, but right now the country's sort of sweltering. We're all sweltering together for the most part. I'd love to be in the Highlands of Maine right now.
Oh yeah, I'd love to
Taping
be
from
in
the Highlands of
mountains.
Maine.
Oh,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, or anything.
I also think that I use lanterns on my mantle because I love it. It doesn't get dark till very late. So, there's just that little bit of time. And I love that lantern glow in the evening, as opposed to, I have 2 candlestick lights because I do have electrical socket on my mantle, but I really prefer, we don't really need the light to see. So I like the glow of putting, and I have the luminary candles, the ones that are battery operated that have that great flicker. And I like to see that on a summer mantle
Mm-hmm.
better
Yeah,
than just
that's a great look.
Yeah. Than lit lamps.
Yeah. Do you put, so you keep the candles on, but are they the faux candles or do you?
Yeah,
they're the
ones that they're called luminary. They were developed for Disney World, I believe, that actually has a little flame and it flickers. And really, you can't tell the difference from, if we're sitting in the family room and looking up, they look very authentic. And I have it it's on like a 5-hour timer. And it's just such a nice look because it's not like we have lamps that go on there other times of the year. And we use them. We turn them on and they look really pretty because we need the light. But in the summertime, we don't.
Yeah. No, that is pretty. I took the candles off my mantle and right now I have 3 votive size, maybe oversized votive gold mercury glass and just running along the mantle, and I just keep clipping boxwoods because my boxwoods are growing like crazy, and I just keep replacing them as they kind of go away.
Idea.
Yeah, that's really simple. And then at either end, I have those types of candles also on little gold bases. So there's bubbles in the gold, and they light up. Yeah, it's so easy, and and the boxwood, when you bring it inside, you clip it. Just make sure when you're doing it that any of the leaves that might be in the water you have removed, because that's kind of really is the death knell to them, or any indoor plant that you have in water, or not plant, I'm sorry, cut flower that you have in water, that creates all the bacteria. So you just want to strip the stem of the leaves and then put them in there. And honestly, it's, as long as the water doesn't dry out, they can last 2 to 3 weeks.
And you know what? That would actually look pretty anytime of year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think in the summer you want to lighten things up. So remember, less is best, bigger is better when it comes to putting things up on your mantle. I like to see almost like a story, like you were saying, a repeated elements. I don't live near the beach, and I've all but given up using beachy things at my house, although I do have like a bowl of shells that I just can't help but put out because I just really enjoy that we've collected over the years. But think about if you, like, we live in a very like the garden spot of our state. So I potted a geranium, a faux geranium that looks really good. Remember, it has to look great. So it looks very real. And I have that on a stack of books, and that brings like that summer vibe to my mantle. But really keep it pretty clean, I would say. Especially, I go a little more heavy during the fall because it's so fun to decorate, and of course during Christmas. So give yourself a little breathing room right now, a little time to enjoy just the maybe architecture of it a little bit before you get into decorating it for fall and winter.
That's great. Well, we have a big announcement that we're very excited about. 2 of us, Kelly and I, are going to be at Round Top this fall 2018. We're going to be at Blue Hills, and that is the first weekend of Round Top, which is, I guess, considered a pre-weekend, but is it the 22nd, 23rd? Okay, now
Yeehaw, it is.
Okay. All right. I'm second guessing myself. Yes, we are so excited. And we're going to be there with Bespoke Decor, which is our decor store. And we're going to be there in person. And I don't know what all we're going to be doing. I mean, do you have any ideas there, Kelly?
Well, we're definitely going to be shopping.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely going to be shopping. And we'll be at the booth, and we would love to meet anybody who wants to pop by. I've never been there before, so Round Top has been on my bucket list for forever since I ever heard of it.
And we got to get there, Yvonne, there one of these days.
You will next year,
got to come.
but we have that grandbaby coming.
Yeah, if I had grandbabies, just pulling into my driveway, I don't think I would be. Either.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's obviously family comes first. So that's the most important thing. And then, it's sort of vintage decor falls right in there, maybe second or third. So we'll be there. And if anybody's going, we've already heard of a few people that will be there that I believe have, listeners of the podcast and readers of maybe Anita's blog. I think she got word that a few people were going to be there, like Ginger and a couple other gals. So if you're going to be at Round Top, or if it's also been on your bucket list, hey, I haven't even got my flight yet. I have to do that today. I promise, Anita, I will get it today. But we'll be there, and we'd love to chat with you and see you in person, give you a hug, and you can show us the treasures you've come up with.
Really come out to meet them, and they're fun, and they'll be your best friends.
We already are. Are you kidding me?
So that's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add Dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. All right, so back to our mantles.
Yeah. September 22nd and 23rd, Blue Hills at Round Top.
Blue Hills around. I'm writing that down.
Okay.
So
If you definitely want to know where to go.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Okay. Yeah. If anybody wants a ride from the airport, let me know, because I gotta get a car. But yeah, so some other things that I thought about is if you collect something, because it's summery, that jadeite, am I saying that right? I know Martha Stewart always collected that sort of green.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And so if you collect something, it doesn't have to be a huge collection either. You could have 3, 5, 7 pieces of something. That's a great spot to bring it out and showcase it.
Right. Just a few. Oh, you know what I've seen that's just beautiful? If you have a painting in the center that's got some blue in it, do some tall blue and white ginger jars, you know, kind of the oriental ginger jars on either side, and then with some palm fronds or something in them, they would be gorgeous.
Palm fronds could be great. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, so I was thinking of all those pretty summery colors that maybe you might not use all the time, or, you know, just this is the time to do it. So poke around in your cabinets and see what you've got in there. Even if you have a collection of mismatched teacups or something like that. If your mantle is small enough and narrow enough so they don't look dwarfed, you could just put 3, 5, or 7 of those across. So charming. So have a little fun. As Yvonne was saying, you can be lighter, a little more whimsical, maybe a little sweeter, because it's a summertime.
And you're talking about like teacups, but I absolutely love the look of bottles and jars done in greens and clear, and that almost looks like a sea glass blue, where you just have one little stem of something green in one.
Yeah,
and they're
I love
all
that too.
Different sizes. That
great
is
look.
So pretty on a mantle.
It really is. It has this modern feel, but it's
has a very modern feel.
I love it.
The other thing is I think that, don't forget, you could put a wreath on there too, like a wreath on the back of the wall of your mantle.
Oh yeah.
And make it nice and summery, and that would give it a really pretty look. But I always try to remember to tie in the decor that I have. I don't go like wild and do something that doesn't look like the rest of my room. So you just want to really make sure you're using the same color palette, repeated elements, repeated shapes, maybe even sort of the same decor style, so it doesn't get too out of hand and it looks too disjointed. You want it to look pretty much together when you decorate.
Yeah, agreed. But here's the thing too, what we always talk about, it's the limited color palette. This is also one of the benefits of that, because you can, in the right dose and in the right spot and at the right time of year, just go a little off road, because
we're saying pop.
Right, a pop, right. Because
right.
what the rest of your room is saying is so nice and calm and neutral, and that it can stand it. If you had a lot of things going on and a lot of competing colors and all of that, and then you decided to put your grandma's teacup collection on your mantle, that might be like, why is that there? And it's now fighting with what else is going on in the room. So while I totally agree with what Yvonne is saying, I think that if you do have that backdrop of neutrality, then you can have a little fun there.
Yeah, I would just do a pop, though. I wouldn't get too crazy.
But it is a great place to bring some color in on the mantle, especially if you have a neutral room. I love these seasonal elements if they add some seasonal color to the room. And summer is just such a time of everything blooming. And so I think the color is just fabulous.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I put that red geranium in there. Because it's like, oh, okay, there's one red geranium there with all your neutral. And I do have I'm adding a little bit more blue and white to that room. So it gave it a red, white, and blue with that little pop of red.
I just got some gorgeous peonies. I mean, they apparently are still in bloom and just amazing. So Trader Joe's. Sorry, Yvonne, but that's where I got them.
I'm telling you,
she has Whole Foods now. She's
no.
Oh, okay. She's all set.
No, I wished Whole Foods to us. Whole Foods opened last week. I've been there 3 times. But I'm wishing Trader Joe's here to Lancaster County. You're missing out, Trader Joe's.
No, you really are.
We're getting a Whole Foods 365, which is their less expensive version. It's going to be fantastic. So anyway,
I love it.
If you're at your house, go look at your mantle, see what you got going on there. Think about what you can do now for the summertime, how you can change it up. Maybe your mantle still has Christmas decor on it.
No, they do not.
Maybe your mantle has a whole bunch of family photos in disjointed sizes and different frames, and it's making you dizzy to look at it. So you can't even enjoy the people that are in the pictures. Maybe that's going on. I don't know. But there's a lot of things. Let's face it, it's a horizontal surface. Things land there and sometimes they don't leave. So you need to shake up your mantle. Like, I know there are other things to do in the world and in life, but decorating your mantle for the seasons is really important.
That's right. It's good for your house. It's good for your soul.
Yeah. And it doesn't, and we're telling you today that it doesn't take long at all. And in fact, and if you've got stuff on there that I have described, or just stuff that you don't care to be seeing up there anymore, clear it off, wipe it off, and just leave it blank for a few days until you figure out what you want to put up there. First, shop your house, see what you've got, take some of our ideas and see if you can plug in the items that you already own. If not, sure, you can take a little trip out into the world and see what you can come up with.
So here's some ideas too. If you're not happy with the way it looks now, first off, start with a picture the way it is exactly right now. Then what I would suggest is that you take everything off and start from scratch. Kind of look at the picture. Does it look like too much, too little? Does it look too bland? I mean, the picture idea, I really think that's a great place to start, and then kind of start rebuilding from scratch. And I think you're going to find you probably don't need as much on your mantle as you thought you did. And try the bigger things and, go get maybe some artwork or go get some little colorful vases or something and try some different things on there.
Yeah.
Or just take the labels off of jars that you empty out and put them with a little piece of green, something on it, all in all different shapes and sizes on your mantle. It'll look really
the greenery
pretty.
from the yard, it's so inexpensive. And I think people overlook that option because it's such a great way to add interest to your home. And the mantle is such a small space. It really can make a big difference.
And here's the thing, but it's a small space, but it is a huge focal point.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's absolutely
so you
true.
want people's eyes will go to that mantle. So you want it to look really pretty and you want it to look easy breezy, lemon squeezy. It's summertime. You want it to look really fun and fresh.
Okay. So that makes me think I'm picturing, and I think I'm going to do this today too, even though I kind of like what I've got going on, but it's been sitting there for, maybe since the May. So maybe it's time for a change. I'm going to do, because I have palm fronds, at the ready outside my door, different sizes and whatnot. So I think I'm going to do what you're saying. I'm going to get a little bit taller with a smaller mouth glass jar or something. I know I have a few of those. And in between each, I'm going to put the perfect lemon.
Do you have a lemon? Do you have a lemon tree where you are? Do you have leaves?
I don't have a lemon tree.
Can you borrow some?
But my neighbor does.
I was just going to say, borrow some from your neighbor. But if you
Catherine always says I can take her lemons. Yeah.
I love the look of lemons with the leaves. Like a
so
white
pretty.
bowl or something. I love
that would be wonderful.
That would be beautiful.
Oh, very
there
nice.
you go. Perfect.
And how easy is that?
Mm-hmm.
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
You guys, we gave you a lot of good ideas. And if you have a sunny spot, you could do even little tiny plants. You could do succulents. We were just talking about those the other day too.
Yeah, they're a little small. I probably wouldn't do them on my mantle, but maybe.
See, the way mine is configured, I can't do too much behind it. So I'm telling everybody these ideas for these smaller things, or I can only put some height sort of at the end, but it has to, again, be like more like taper candles or thin hurricane lantern-y sort of things. I can't have anything too wide.
So that'll work for you.
Yeah, so that would work for me. So I would picture succulents in little silver sugar bowls and things like that.
Oh, sounds nice.
Wouldn't that be pretty?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that idea too. So fun. Lots of great ideas. Well, I'm super excited for the rest of the summer. To me, it feels like when we're hitting the mid-July, I don't know, the summer seems to, it starts and you're like, yeah, it's summer, but people are getting their ideas together, what they're going to do, whatever. And then all of a sudden 4th of July hits and bam, like it starts to fly away, doesn't it? So I'm like, I get nervous after 4th of July, like, okay, the summer's going to be over and we have to do all these fun things. So I hope everybody's taking advantage of the summertime and enjoying themselves and relaxing a little bit. And you can make these little tweaks to your mantle. And I think you'll enjoy that as well. And if you're thinking about round top, well, look into some flights if you have to, or put some of your girlfriends in a car and drive out there and see
And if
us.
you're wanting some pillows now, you don't have to wait till then. Be sure to visit bespokedecor.store, which is where we have all these wonderful pillows, lavender sachets, and other things that we've designed and are made in the U.S. So come see us.
Pop over there. We'll put that in the show notes too. So remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time. Hey, everybody. We want to thank you so much for listening to Decorating Tips and Tricks. And we want to make it even easier for you to listen. And it's easier if you subscribe. You just click the subscribe button on our website, www.decoratingtipsandtricks.com, or you can subscribe through Apple Podcast or any of your favorite podcast listeners. When you subscribe, DTT comes free right to you 3 days a week. So until next time.